Hello, live. All right, we're just waiting on Elena. Hello. Oh, I see some people hopping on. Let me wave. Hi. Hey, everyone. Happy Memorial Day. I'm trying to quickly wave. All right. Okay, let's get Elena on. Hi. Hey, everyone. Thanks for hopping on. Hey, Elena.
Hey, Rhea, how are you?
I love that color on you.
Thank you.
So
Thank
pretty.
you. Thank you so much.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. Hi, everyone. Hello to everyone
Yay!
who is joining us.
I know, I'm like trying to press wave quickly so I can wave at
Yeah.
everybody, but I am like not quick
I see
enough.
Ariel just came on. Hey, Ariel. Hey, Kelly.
Hi,
So it
Kelly.
must
Oh,
show on my profile too, because I know some of these names.
oh, well, that's so good. I'm so happy we got some TOM community
Yes, we
members.
got some Tom Squad up here. So that's wonderful.
Yes.
Hello,
Oh,
Ariel.
oh, awesome. Well, let's get started. I know it's a holiday, so some people may not want to be talking about money, though I can talk about money and budgeting anytime.
Me too. Me too.
But let's get started. So I really wanted to have just an open dialogue with you, Elena, about physical budgeting versus digital budgeting.
Yeah.
Obviously, you are super organized, so I think this is going to be a great conversation. But before we dive in, maybe we can start by level setting on what is physical budgeting and what is digital budgeting. I am going to
Mhm.
give my understanding of both of those, and then I would love if you would just share if you agree or think something a little different. How's that
Yeah.
sound?
Sounds great.
Awesome. So in my eyes, physical budgeting is anything that is manual. So you are like physically writing your income, you are physically writing your expenses, you are manually entering your numbers into a spreadsheet. So you are very conscious of what your money situation looks like. So it literally comes from your head down on paper or down into a spreadsheet. So that's what I consider physical budgeting. Digital budgeting, I consider anything that is automated. So think like software like YNAB or apps like Mint and Every Dollar, where they kind of categorize your spending for you. So you
Yeah.
are you're aware of what's happening with your money, but it's already categorized, so you don't really have to do that level of work. Does that make sense?
I completely agree. I know with me, I'm huge on budget planning. So the act of writing everything down, the act of looking it up on your own and it's not really digitized, it's not automated. You're doing the physical work. That is pen and paper, manual budgeting but then you also could do like other apps and other things that could make it digital. So I agree. I agree.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, I thought so, but I wanted to, level set and make sure we're on the same page here.
Right.
Now, Elena, my connection is a little choppy. Are you seeing me okay?
I am. I am. I see you well.
Okay, I see you're a little choppy, but maybe that's
Okay.
just me.
Sure. I'm trying to check my connection, making sure I'm good.
Okay. All right, I saw somebody said they already have a question. Uh,
Jump on in with
visual
questions.
diary. Yeah, like feel free to ask away. Okay, so now that we've kind of established what is physical budgeting and what is digital budgeting, let's talk about like the pros and cons of each. So I am very much a physical budgeter, not necessarily in the sense of like writing out my numbers, but
Mhm.
I live by my spreadsheet. I have created it to be exactly what I want, which I consider a pro when it comes to physical budgeting, because you can literally tailor how you want your budget to look, what you want it to do, because you are actually physically writing it out. That's like the biggest pro to me. But what do you think about that?
I completely agree. Well, personally, I know to each its own. Everybody has their own personal preference. But for me, when I am writing down my numbers, when I am using my budget planners, those numbers feel so real to me. Like it becomes real when I am writing it down. When I would try and do the digital way, I felt like I was a little bit apart from my numbers. I didn't feel like I would always use the system. I wouldn't always check. But when I'm writing it down, it makes those numbers so real for me that it really makes it sink in exactly what I need to do in order to get, my numbers right.
I agree. I think you're just so much more conscious of like what your numbers actually are when you're physically writing or physically typing it out, as opposed to using like an app that kind of does the work for you. Don't get me wrong, I think apps can be super effective, or any type of digital budgeting system.
Mhm.
To be honest, they move a lot faster, right? Like if you don't have
Right,
time to sit through and like sift through your numbers, an app can be super beneficial.
right.
And you can kind of take it anywhere. You can be out and about and just have what you need at your fingertips.
Yeah, now I
Okay,
can't,
Elena, you are blurry.
oh, I
Sorry,
am
I'm just
going to
reading a comment. It
try.
says that,
Let me try
yeah.
and see if I can fix it on my end.
Okay, we're here. No worries.
Is that a little
Oh,
bit
that
better?
looks better.
It's better?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, much better.
Awesome.
There we
Awesome.
go. So kind of going back to some of the pros, again, I think like with physical budgeting, like you're so close to your numbers, nothing can really get by you in a sense. Whereas with an app, expenses can slip through the cracks, things can kind of sneak up on you or get away from you, and
Hmm.
that worries me, because I think budgeting really needs to be intentional. It needs to be conscious. You
Yeah.
need to know your numbers to be successful with it.
You just have to know what works best for you and your family. Like, for instance, I am huge on paper budgeting, but my husband is not. He much rather everything through Mint. So we do both. We actually really do both. So where I will do the pen and paper budget because I handle the finances, but then at the end of the month, we will still put it through the app, put it through Mint, so that he can just see everything digitized, and like he doesn't have to worry about flipping through my planner to see what we're doing. But so he can see it all, in Mint. He can look up the categories. He can see how we're doing. So we actually do both. I prefer one method. He prefers the other, but both of them like work together so that we can still see what works best for us,
You mean he doesn't like sifting through your budget planner? I mean, come on. Where's
Like,
the
why wouldn't
difference?
you, right? It's amazing, but apparently not.
But you're absolutely right. I think there is not like one right way to do it, right? You
Right,
can find what works best for your situation, whether it's one or the other or both. And there are definitely advantages to both. So it's so good that you guys are like a team with this, and
mm-hmm.
you put it in a format that both of you guys are receptive to, so that you can be successful with your numbers. That's
Right,
awesome.
right,
Yeah.
right. And
So let
and
me let me ask you this. What
mhm.
if somebody is like on the fence about physically writing their numbers out or using an app like Mint? What would be the first like piece of advice you would give them to figuring out which way they should go?
So the first thing I like to figure out is how their life is currently going. Meaning that if you're super busy, like you're a super busy person, you got a lot going on, you have a lot of things coming at you at one time. Maybe you have your job and you have a side hustle, you have kids, you have this. More than likely, we're going to push for digital because you won't have the time that's needed to do physical budgeting unless you are just able, unless you say, you know what, digital just doesn't work and I have to find the time. But
Right.
other than that, we're looking at your life circumstances. We're also looking at what you value. Since speed is a big thing of digital, do you value speed over writing things down? Do you prefer to write things down? There are different things that we can look at and see what is valuable to you, what, kind of connects with you. How do you learn? Are you the type of visual learner? Do you learn by seeing different things? It depends on those specific things on what's the best method for you. But my best thing to do is just to tell them to try it.
Yeah.
Because you kind of don't know until you try it. And I tried YNAB, I tried Mint, I tried Excel, I tried a bunch of things. And then, I'll always try it for a month. And then every time I try it, I always end up coming back to pen and paper. So
Yeah.
I just know after months of trying that pen and paper works for me because I've tried it all. And
Yeah.
sometimes experience is the best teacher,
100%. And I think you bring up two really good points. The first one being like, really take a second to think about what you like and how you like to do things. Don't just rush into doing it a certain way because you see someone else doing that, right? Like take a second to think, okay, what do I like? How do I perform best? And take that into consideration when you are thinking about how you want to start budgeting. I think that was a great point. And then also too, understanding that it's trial and error. Like you don't have to find one specific way to do it and think that that's it. It's the end. This has to work. No, you can definitely try new things, new ways until you find something that sticks.
And also know that things can change with different seasons of your life.
Yeah.
When my kids, I have two daughters, they're 8 and 6 now, but when they were really young, when they were like newborns and toddler age, I couldn't pen and paper budget. I wanted to, I just couldn't. It was too much going on in my life in that time to where I had to switch and make it work for a season.
Right.
And then once they got a little bit older and a little bit more independent, I was able to switch back to my preference. So just know that when you pick one method, you don't have to stick with that method. You may have to switch in different seasons because it may not work for you for a particular season, but something else will.
I love that you said that because I'm very much the type of person that if I find something I like I just want to do that. And even if the situation in my life is telling me you cannot do that, I really want to. So that's such a good reminder to like give yourself some grace, understand it's temporary, but do what you have to do to still make sure that you are on top of your money and finances.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So I know some people were saying they had questions. So if you guys have questions, feel free to ask while we are here. And before we end this great conversation, I'm going to be sharing the two winners of our upcoming workshop, Spring Clean Your Finances. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. People have been like emailing me saying, I can't wait for this. What do I need to know? And it's going to be such a good conversation, Elena. I think like you're so organized as it is. So just combining forces and doing this is going to be epic. I'm so excited.
Oh, I see there's a question. You want to get to the questions first or you want to?
Yeah, so we'll get to questions and then we'll move on. So my first question, is there a thing as over budgeting? I budget once a week. Oh, that's a good question. I'll share my answer and then Elena, you go ahead after. I do not think there is such a thing as over budgeting. I actually track my spending on a daily basis. So if we're talking over budgeting, once a week has nothing on once a day, right? I think it's about finding what works for you and making sure that you are sticking to what you set out to do, no matter how frequent that is. That's my response. What do you think, Elena?
I completely agree. We are kindred spirits. I look at my money every single morning. I have a money routine. It's a list of things that I do every single day. So I'm always looking at my expenses. And once again, I budget once a week also. And then I'm looking at my budget every single day to make sure that I'm on track, checking my bank balance, seeing what expenses came out. It's the same thing that I do every single day. I feel like it's the best way to stay on top of your money. You know, it's the same thing as saying, okay, would you eat healthy every day? Would you, you know, if you're trying
Absolutely.
to stay on top of something, if you're trying to stay on top of your weight, you might work out multiple times. I don't think that there is such a thing as a wrong answer or over budgeting, over, you know, as long as you're not doing it out of fear, you are doing it just to be aware of where you are at every point in time, then there's no such thing as over budgeting or overdoing it.
But, you know, on the contrary to that, one may ask, well, is there such a thing as under budgeting? And I would say yes, right? I think if you're not staying on top of what's happening with your money, it's very easy for things to get out of hand quickly, especially if you're a spender. So really trying to stick to that once a day, once a week, maybe bi-weekly schedule is really going to be impactful.
I agree 100%.
Okay, so we have Isabel says, I used to be very organized with my finances when I had a 9-to-5 job. Now that I work as a freelancer, I find it difficult to budget since I don't have a fixed income. What do you recommend? All right, Elena, do you want to take this one first? Did we lose Elena? Can you guys hear me okay? Ooh, okay, I think we lost Elena. Okay, at least you guys can hear me. So then, Isabel, I'll answer your question. So what I typically recommend for clients who don't have that consistent income, that fixed income on a regular basis, I would say look at the last 6 months of you freelancing, if it's been that long, and try to find an average monthly amount, and then stick with that when creating your budget. So use that monthly amount to kind of get you through what you think you need to, what you think you can make and what you think you need to spend against that average monthly income. Sorry, I'm getting Elena back in. And start there, right? Because at the end of the day, if your income is not consistent, you may not be able to 100% pinpoint what you can do with your money. Hey, Elena, we got you back. I was just answering Isabel's question and recommending that if your income is inconsistent, not really fixed, try to find an average monthly amount and start there, and then do your best to maintain and manage what you can with the income that actually does come in, and then making note of your priorities, right? What are the most important things that need to get taken care of, and make sure that no matter how much comes in, those things are taken care of first.
I completely agree. Can you hear me? Am I better?
I can hear you now. You're a little blurry, but I hear you. So we'll take that.
My internet must be going crazy over here. I think I'm just in a bad spot. I probably should leave my office. It might be my office. But real quick, I wanted to dig into this question because this is one that I actually get a lot. And me and my husband are both on variable income. This is a couple of things that we did. The first thing that we did was assess our fixed expenses. See how much just it would take just to manage how much we need for the exact month. Then we saved that amount so that we were always 1 month ahead of our actual expenses. And then anytime we got our variable income, since it wasn't the same, we would try and save a majority of it and then pay out of that month ahead account so that we were always on top of how much we needed for the month. Now, you definitely want to make sure that how much you're making is a consistent amount. So you might want to look at the average over the last couple of months and make sure that your expenses aren't more than what you're making on average, because you definitely want to watch your income when you're variable income. But I feel like the best way to achieve it is being 1 month ahead.
That's a good piece of advice. And it almost takes the pressure off just a little bit. You're not working to pay your bills. You have your bills paid. Now you're working to stay ahead, which is a much better place to be in.
Exactly. And it gives you a little bit more flex room. And that's why I say your fixed expenses, because maybe if you put in your fixed and your variable, it might be a little bit off. But if you just worry about the ones that you absolutely have to have, you'll be less likely to take out of that account because you know you need that money, and you'll be able to kind of watch exactly how much you need to stay ahead.
Agreed. Isabel said thanks. Great. We got another question. What are the top 3 options that come to your mind when you talk about passive income? Okay, that's a little off topic, but I think when I think passive income, the first 3 things I think of are rental income, dividends from investments, and can we get a city boy saying?
Don't worry about him. That's my husband.
Oh, I'm like, who is this? Okay.
That is my husband. He is
okay, coming with silly. The jokes. Okay.
He's coming with the jokes. Don't mind him.
Oh, sorry, that threw me for a loop. Okay, so rental income, dividends from investments, and digital products. Those are the top 3 things I think of when I think of passive income. What about you, Elena?
Of course, I'm going to say YouTube. Because I'm big on like YouTube income. Like I do books and actual physical products, and monthly subscriptions, memberships. So basically anything around branding. If you have a side hustle, if there's a way that you can take what you already know and monetize it, I am like all about that, because that is a majority of what I do. So I love talking about how to monetize what you already know.
I love that. And then also like that, you say that, and I think like online courses, like putting like what's in here in a format that people can take and learn from, and you can make money off of that. Absolutely.
And you know, you'd be surprised what people want to learn from you. Like, just saying it to our audience, like when I first started Organized Money, I was like, do people really want to talk about planners? Do really people want to talk about like budgeting life? And then really I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just put it out there. I'm going to just see if people want to talk about budgeting like this. And they do. So if you know something and you feel like it's common knowledge and, oh, nobody probably wants to talk about it, then that really means that they do. And they want to know what you know, and you can always make money off of it. Like, so it's a great way to monetize it and to build, even if it's a side hustle, it's a great way to make extra money.
And it's any topic, right? Anything that you're passionate about, or maybe that you have learned and grown and excelled in, like that's a great way to make money doing something you enjoy or you love, which I think we should all be working towards something along those lines.
Right.
Kelly says, here I was thinking, what is a big boy savings account, right? Thanks, Kelly.
Don't worry about Tori. Tori is being silly.
Tori, okay. So I don't see any more questions, but you guys feel free to ask away. What I did want to get into before I announce my two winners of the Spring Clean Your Finances workshop, I wanted to talk about the workshop and make sure everyone understands exactly what you are getting when you register. So first and foremost, you are going to be learning everything you absolutely need to know to get financially organized. And I'm talking like physical filing systems, virtual filing systems, apps, and everything in between. And the most exciting part, in my opinion, is the do it together budget plan setup that Elena will be walking us through. I'll be participating as well. We will literally be getting pen to paper and mapping out our budget. I'm so excited. Aren't you excited?
I am really, really excited. This is like the first time that I've actually had the chance to live interact with, my audience, to show them how we do the budget planner. Like, I've always done YouTube videos on it and shared different reasons of why I decided to set it up. But being able to do it live, I am so excited to be able to do it live and like walk them through my exact process. So I hope you can join us this Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time. Join us because it's really going to be a great time. I'm so excited about it.
And Kelly says, I did not enter because I knew I would be working. Well, Kelly, we are sending the replay to anyone that registers, whether you make it live or not. So if you think you can benefit from watching the video after the fact, definitely you don't want to miss out. I mean, there's going to be a lot of great information shared, regardless if you show up live or not. So if this is something you can benefit from, don't let work hold you back. I understand you got to make the money. I get it. I get it. Okay, so I'm not seeing any more questions. So let me go ahead and announce my two winners. So in case, the people watching didn't know, Elena and I are giving away 4 spots to the workshop. And to win 2 spots from my end, you had to comment why you wanted to win the spot in the workshop. And the 2... I'm pulling it up because I'll forget. The 2 winners from my end, just what they said really resonated with me. We have Alyssa Bailey Smith. If you are on live, you have won a spot in the workshop. I'll be DMing you. She said she wants to be president of the debt-free community. I was like, oh, yes, I am here for that. So just instantly, yes, we got this. And then Samantha, Sam Aljo, said that she would just love to be more functional when it comes to organizing her paperwork and all of her financial documents. I'm here for that. So you have one as well. I will be DMing both of you if you guys aren't here. I don't see anybody commenting. So congratulations.
Yeah, awesome. And on tomorrow, we will come back on live, y'all. So y'all check out and wait for me to go live. And we're going to announce the other 2 winners of the giveaway.
Yay! Yeah, so you're getting like double duty this week. We'll be on the same time tomorrow on Elena's live, going through everything, all the winners. So I'm super excited about that.
Oh, and we're going to be talking about how to find more money in your budget. We're going to talk about some tips and some strategies and some things that you could do. If you feel like your budget is super tight right now and you don't know how to kind of make it work, I'm going to give you some extra tips on some things to look for on how to make more money, like how to find more money in your budget.
Yes, I'm here for that. Yes, make your money work for you. Yes. Look at Tori says he better win one.
You don't qualify. I don't think you commented, sir.
You didn't follow the rules.
I don't think you followed the rules.
Well, Elena, thanks so much for tuning in live with me today. I'm excited to join you tomorrow. I'm excited for our workshop on Thursday. If anyone on here has questions, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Elena. We will be happy to help. I hope you all have a wonderful Memorial Day. Elena, I will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.